Painting Goo. It's Painting Goo. There's a spirit in the village. Spirit and the parrot. Painting Goo 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 Goo. Painting Goo Goo Goo. Painting Goo Goo. That's a rot of goo. Painting Goo 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 Goo. Painting Goo. Painting Goo Goo. Painting Goo Goo. What'll we go? Nobody knew. Fucking gooed the floor is what I did. Painting Goo Goo Goo. Motorov Sabaru. Motorov. Resident Moose Jockey. Painting Goo. 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 Painting Goo. Painting Goo 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 Goo. Painting Goo Goo Goo. Painting Goo Goo Goo. So much goo. Painting Goo. Goo 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 Goo. Painting Goo Goo. Painting Goo. Goo 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 Goo. Oh. Painting Goo 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 Goo. Painting Goo. Painting Goo. Goo 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 Goo. Painting Goo 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 Goo. Painting Goo Goo Goo. Right, you know the drill, you filthy motor scum. If you have any honor, you will place a tip in the monkey's bowl. Click the link in the description. And remember to strike that Riker button, like it has insulted your ancestors. As we prepare for Painting Goo. Greetings, my beloved Chaponita, and welcome to another glorious episode of A Painting Goo. With me, your illustrious... Where's my thingy? Demi-divine host, demigod of A Painting Goo, Defendoro-sama. Welcome! I hope you are all well, and your chi is flowing freely. And if it is not, I hope I can facilitate your chi flowing more freely. Today is a Friday, thank fuck, it is a Friday. We return, for probably the last time, to Saudi Arabia, where a very Asian-looking Arab camel, which I suppose Arabs, Asians, Eurasian. I have no idea. It's a funny-looking camel in Saudi Arabia. Instead of palm trees, there are pencil trees, and an X-Wing is shooting pickers at a TIE fighter. Why? Because this is painting goo, that's why. Right. Today is a Friday, so today's tunes will be funky. And we have new funk that is brought to us by our very own Desmondo-sama, who has kindly selected for us some funky music. Samurai funk. Japanese funk. Right, let me see if I can find that one. Japanese funk. Japanese samurai funk. Japanese... Fucking... Oh, I pressed play on the piano. Japanese funk. It's beautiful piano. It's very calming. Shut up. Right. Where is this? I found it. Oh. Ooh. Yes. Yes. Right. Let's get these bitches wet as we prepare to finish off Saudi Arabia. The camera's eyebrows to be singular, to be a bit darker perhaps. I think he looks fine, you know, but what else? What other details can we put in? Some more details on the X-Wings probably would be nice. TIE Fighter's fucking fine. Right. The camera's eye is a bit shit. Let me see. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Things always look a bit better when they're whiter. Right. Let's get some decals on this X-Wing. Great Oracle Google! Show me an X-Wing! Kind of like a bone white with some red decals. Glorious. Painting goo 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 goo. A smidge of Brack. Prince Kamal Farouk Mohammed Arabia is positioned perfectly in the painting group. I was thinking that earlier. I was like, camel. Cam-L. Doesn't L mean like of God or with God or something? It's like I would love to see a society that revere a camel as a god. Yeah. You must pray to the great camel, or he will spit upon you. Oh, great camel. Like, it's like these like regal statues of camels and shit. Like, oh man, that'd be funny. It'd be so easy to make a fucking hilarious religion out of that. Like, oh, great camel. fucking hilarious. We beseech you, great Carmel. Grant us a fruitful harvest. Like, what do you bring him? You just bring him you just bring him all the water you can. They're all dehydrated fuck because they have a camel for a god. Painting goo goo goo. Oh! Sumimasen! Just tastes like coffee. Straight coffee burp. A fine Gepu. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Oh, I forgot the big engine thingies. Okay, let me see. Can I add in these circular? There you go. Let me see. Okay. There's more of a gap between the wings on a real X-wing. I say real X-wing, knowing that X-wings are not real, but I suppose in a sense they are. Just lots of Star Wars fans with like models. Like, what do you mean it's not real? Like, it's like, you know what I mean. The holy Carmel. Like, days of worship are on Wednesday because it's hump day. And like you don't even drop that, like you don't even like, you know, oh we worship on Wednesdays, you know, because of hump day. Like you just leave it at like, so when's your holy day? Sunday? Or no, Wednesday, you know. Just leave it out there for people to discover, like. Red. Kind of a faded orange. Reddish orange. Oranga. I prefer Oranga to orange. Oranga. That's more gravitas. Some minor details, but details nonetheless. Impressive rooking, shall we say. Painting goo 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 goo. Reminds me of a Zelda. It's very... We're in the forest correcting nuts and straying demons kind of thing. Fuck Nintendo. Wankers. Aw, that was a disappointing drop. Paint. Goo goo. Goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Goo goo goo. Painting goo. Let's make some browner. Get some shading on these pencil trees. Oranga and brew make a beautiful deep dark browner. It's glorious. Glorious. I had something suspicious. Stabber's favorite part to make a browner. A few things in rife for a married man with children and a full-time job that are more satisfying than a decent shit in the morning. Sometimes it's probably the only like time of day that they get some peace and quiet, like, you know. I remember being really young and I was like standing outside the toilet door and I was like looking in the keyhole at me dad. I was like, you know, like 4, like 3 or something, like, you know, maybe 5. And I was like, what you doing? And you can just hear him from the inside be like, go on the toilet, go away. Like, ugh. Kids are hilarious, man. I was watching this super funny fucking police body cam footage there the other day of these kids call a cop over. I think he was like patrolling or they ring the police, I can't remember. But, like, one cop in a car just shows up on his own and they're all like, we saw a guy, like, you know, messing with his bits and he was like, you know, being all weird around us and like we saw him over by that wall and all. So he's like, yeah, and the cop's like taking details, asking him the questions and all, like, right? And he's like trying to get a description of this guy, like. A fucking police officer turns around to the kids and is like, so, like, how tall is he? Is he big or is he small? And one of them is like, he was fat. And then he goes like, how old do you think he was? One of the kids goes, "Oh, he was fat years old." He looked like, oh no, he looked like a fat year old. At least 26. I was like lying in bed watching this, and I started pissing myself laughing. And how tall do you think he was? Oh, he is a fat year old. At least 26. Oh man, it folded me over, like, and then I was looking at the comments, and it was like every comment for the first like 100 comments was talking about how she described this pervert as a fat year old. So fucking funny, man, like, so funny, like, and like they get the guy in the end, and like the kids' collective description of this guy was like hilariously accurate, like. Oh man, it was fucking brilliant. The OCD in me is it's like, no, I need to fix the TIE Fighter too now. I always hate that when you feel like another drop is coming and it doesn't. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. You must save the children from the evil ninja warrior up there on the mountain temple. Huh. Paint goo. Paint goo. Paint goo. Goo goo. Paint goo. Paint goo. Goo goo. Paint goo. Paint goo. Goo goo. Paint goo. Every king has his castle. Every castle has its throne. And that throne is made of porcelain. My porcelain throne, how I love you so. Painting goo goo goo. That reminds me, my ensuite bedroom needs a rocking door. My daughter would just walk in and I'm like, no, sweetie, daddy's time now. Just standing there looking at you and you're like, well, this is awkward. I feel very vulnerable. I mean, I love you, you're my child, but like, kindly, fuck off. Like... No, sweetie, daddy's time now. Oh. There's the thing you dropped in the chat. It's the Japanese trying to figure out if the Tengu are actually just Jews. Oh, Christ. Painting. The fuck was that? Painting Red is so powerful. I literally tried to put like the most minute amount of the red in the white just to get this like this fraction of a shade into the white, and it's just like, nah, it's pink now. Like, fuck you, it's pink now. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Excellent playlist suggestion, brother. The funk has been rear. That's some quality funk right there. Painting goo 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 goo. Paint goo goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Paint goo. Ah, Dick Fordu, welcome. How funny would it be if Imperial Japan makes a comeback in our lifetime? I'd move over there. Imagine me showing up. Just as I decide to like reinstitute the empire, I show up on the border or on the fucking like on the shore, hop off a boat. I'm just like, oh, konnichiwa. It would be my life's greatest honor to paint for the Emperor of Japan. And like, I paint for the Emperor of Japan, and then he's like incredibly insulted, and like bans me from Japan. Oh man, I actually have to just make a painting goo cartoon. Like, we need to just do it. Like, we could just come up with crazy scenarios where like every country I go to paint something in, like some kind of like political or like just local upheaval happens. Like, it'd be so funny. Like, all I want to do is go around the world and paint and like, you know, experience other cultures and shit, but we always end up in like some kind of like anime adventure, like fighting a load of local like Resident Evil, you know, like the local evil. We end up like all hopping off the boat. So if like a Siberian, was he a Serbian or Siberian? I can't remember. A bear wearing a bandana. I have like a crow atop of a gong. We can make him like a really... No, you could just like make him a raven or something, like, you know, like a little bit bigger than they'd usually be or something. And then like Defenderu himself, and like he's a demigod. Defender is a demigod, so like you could do all sorts of shit where like we actually fight like groups of bad guys and all, and like Defenderu would like kick the shit out of them because he's like a fucking demigod. Like, that'd be so funny. You could incorporate the art into it all, like I just paint a cannon into reality and then just like pull the rope on it, like a way more like free, chaotic free version of like Green Lantern or something. Like, it'd be fucking brilliant. Like, yeah, man. I'd like, yeah, if we started doing it, like, I've kind of mentioned shit like that before, where instead of doing the normal painting goo formula, that we just spend a few hours on stream creating shit together. Like, obviously I'm the only one like painting anything or whatever like that, but like if you guys are sending in doodles, if you guys are like, if we're all like building it together in real time, and then it's all just like there, it's all recorded and shit, like, do you know what I mean? And even if like, because I'm doing stuff in real time, even if YouTube kicks me off, I still have all the paintings. They can't get rid of the paintings, you know? They can't get rid of the ideas in our heads, you know? So like, even if my channel got completely like wiped, I still have all the paintings. So it's like, it can't just be like, they can't do that to Painting Goo. So, so fuck are you? Painting Goo. I think Demon Hunter should voice Boris. Like, without a doubt. I think this bear should be you, nigga. I think you should be the bear. Like, and right off the top of my head, I think Stabaru should be Carlos or Garlos. Like, don't ask me why. I just don't think it'd suit you doing the crow. The crow, I don't know, who would do the crow? Oh, it'd be so funny if we made Griff the Crow. Oh my god, how funny would that be if we made Griff the Crow? Fucking, like, white power. Just that's all he ever says. There's just shots of the crow on top of the gong, and it just goes, white power! White power! Oh, that'd be fucking hilarious. Yeah, what do you have to say, Tobias? It'd actually be funnier if it was just Griff's normal voice. If we just cut to a cartoon raven atop a gong and say, so what do you think, Tobias? And it's just like, white power. It's like, every time there's like a question posed, it's oh, that would be so fucking funny. Like, we're like talking about some kind of problem that the local village has and how are we going to deal with this demon, and we need to get this amulet from this temple and all this shit and blah blah. Like, I'm going to have to paint a bridge so we can cross this river. Tobias, what do you think? What do you think we should do with the children? White power. Every episode we like ask him a question, and his answer is just white power. Oh my god, that'd be fucking brilliant. And like gradually over the episodes, the crow gets whiter. Like episode 14, he has a single white feather. Starts looking like a magpie, and then before you know it, we have a white raven. And it's just like white power. And then we realize that like it's not that he's racist or a white supremacist. It's that like he's just been chanting a magical spell every day for years. Cause like the raven bird version of Michael Jackson, all he's ever wanted to be is white. Oh, that'd be fucking brilliant. A black crow saying white power is like, yeah. Tobias becomes white over time. Fucking brilliant. Like, what do you think, Tobias? White power. You're like, for fuck's sake. Like over the albino rice, albino racist raven. Oh god. Oh, that's hilarious. It'd be so much funnier if it turned out that like he's not racist at all. Like the whole time you would assume, obviously, it's like, is that bird? Is that does he have a racist raven? Does this demigod have a racist raven? Tobias, the racist raven, is like gets to like season 4 or something, and it's like he's totally white. It's like an episode where we're like, "Where's Tobias gone?" It's gone like keep seeing a white bird flying around and all. And it's like, what the fuck? Where did that thing come from? White power. It's like, has this nigga just been saying white power for 3 seasons because he knew it would turn him white? Oh man, there's so many ways you could spin that. Oh, it's so funny. Fucking hell. A black crow saying white power. Especially if you had like, you know, if when the camera like cuts to him, or like when you get the close-ups of him or some shit, and like I'd make him like really similar to that, like the crow of Judgment. Like, do you know the like Tobias, what's your 2 cents on the matter? White power. Like, it's pure serious though. Like, so you think he's like aggressively racist, but then over time we realize that he's just like he's really focused. You know, he's like summoning the power of white into his very feathers. Oh fuck. Oh god, my cheeks are killing me. That sounded really gay. By season 5, he's 100% white and starts saying black. Oh man, I thought I had that thought a minute ago. I was like, how about with the second he turns white, he starts saying black power and just turns back to black, and it turns out that he's just practicing magic. Like, how fucking funny would that be? Episode after episode, like, fight just the long arc in the background, the long background story arc is that bird is just trying to learn white and black magic throughout the whole show. He can only be seen on a white background. Oh fuck. Oh, that would be so fucking funny. We need to establish in the first like episode or something, like you need to establish the reason why we always ask him questions and why he's guarding the gong. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, they all have a backstory of when I came across them or found them or whatever like that. And his one is like, when I found him, like he's incredibly articulate and wise and all this fucking stuff. Like, I don't know. It'd just be so like, I love coming up with that shit. Like, it's one of my favorite things to do is just come up with characters and stuff and all. Like, it's so much fun, man. It's so much fun. Oh god. I probably should just like fucking, instead of like doing the redhead cartoon, I probably should just do a Painting Goo cartoon, because that would fuse the two, like, you know. Because I've thought about doing watercolors of like I said before, the storyboard of the book of Painting Goo, and like, you know, the lore of Painting Goo. It'd be so fucking funny, like. And then we could do an episode thing. So like the first book of Painting Goo explains like why Painting Goo even exists, why he got kicked out of Chinese heaven, why he has a beef with the Monkey King, you know, like explains all the stuff. And then there's like all the Painting Goos of like the first year of him on Earthrealm. It's like he kept his creative abilities and his like, oh man, that makes the TV show even funnier. That makes the cartoon even funnier. So like he was a former god of painting turned demigod of painting, because he painted the Monkey King in Chinese heaven, as a trip, like he was commissioned to do it, but because of the way he did it, and then he reveals it, everybody sees Monkey King as a tiny penis, and he's embarrassed. Like gets kicked out of Chinese heaven, lands on Earthrealm, and what he loses in the course of becoming a demigod is like his ability to paint. It's like the Monkey King's like, fuck you, you can't paint anymore. Like, do you know what I mean? But he doesn't lose his like godlike abilities, i.e., like, you know, he's really hard to kill. He's super strong. He's super fast. Like he could fucking basically like summon a Nimbus cloud and fly around or whatever. Like, but like, and I can still create shit. So it looks all janky in the beginning. You know what I mean? So like he has to learn how to like paint stuff again, but he can still paint whatever he wants, and then it becomes real, and like he can like use it and shit. Like it'd be so funny. Like he'd get frustrated in the beginning of like, I used to paint for gods, and he's like trying to do like the simplest shit and can't do it. Like, it's like he's so fucking funny. We need to get across. We need to get across this river, Defenderu. What are we gonna do? I will paint a bridge, and then like he does something that it's like absolute trash. Like fucks the brush down on the ground. This is pointless. The Monkey King has won. I have nothing without my painting goop powers. And then like that's why the other characters are like get him through it emotionally. They're like, you know, it's okay, you can learn how to paint again. Like, just keep trying, and all. Like, it'd be like watching a god try and become a god again. Like, it'd be fucking brilliant. Like, you know, very similar to like Kratos and God of War, but like different, because like Kratos wasn't a god; he became one to try and kill one. Whereas like Defenderu was a god, is now demigod, and now is trying to become a god again, and only in one heaven. Like how funny would that be if we were like, oh no, yeah, as far as like Valhalla, fucking, you know, like Christian heaven, fucking shit, like every single heaven still like you're still a god in those realms, but on Earthrealm you're a demigod and you're not allowed in Chinese heaven. It's like, fuck this. Oh, there's so much potential for hilarious like one-liners and like conversations and that. Like, I've already kind of designed my own version of a Monkey King and stuff and all, like old decrepit, funny-looking dude and all, like. And if fucking Ian Gannon is listening, like, you know, like I every couple of days I still think about painting you that fucking Merlin sketches. I just never get around to it because I've got so much other stuff going on. And I'm always thinking to myself, like, fuck, I still need to do those, like, concept things of, like, or illustrations of Merlin for Ian. I've got so much going on, man. My fucking, like, my head is just, like, oof, so burnt out. Like, look at my eyes. I'm, like, all fucking, been like that for a while again now, like. Fucking between stuff like the other day with the emotions and then all the ideas and stuff, and like trying to like make a living while doing all this shit. It's mad, man. Absolutely mad. How this show would be unsuccessful, I have no idea. So much potential to tap into. Yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. Like, that's what's great about creating stuff. Like, you know, like could you imagine being in the room when they were coming up with the idea for like It's Always Sunny or like Samurai Jack, or fucking being in the room for when they came up with like Rick and Morty, even, like, do you know what I mean? At least the first few seasons, like, you know, or Family Guy. Imagine being in the room when they were all like shooting the shit and like trying to come up with like what to do with a Family Guy episode. Like, that's the reason why people get so into doing stuff like that, is because it's so much fun and it's so rewarding, because not only do you all have a great time creating it together, but then when you actually have a finished product and you put it out there and people start consuming it, and then you see how everybody reacts to it, it becomes like a cultural phenomenon and all this fucking shit. You're like, you know, that like electric energy buzz of like creating a world, you know.
creating a whole universe for people to just dive into, characters to fall in love with, characters to hate. People love to hate characters, you know. You create characters like, you know, I know it wasn't their intention probably, but like there's something about creating a character like Jar Jar Binks or something, Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, where like like when I was a kid, I loved Jar Jar. I thought he was funny, but even as a child, I found him a little bit annoying because I really liked Qui Gon Jinn, and you could tell Qui Gon Jinn found him annoying, you know, but also harmless, you know, helpful, harmless, and annoying. Do you know what I mean? But like characters like that are like necessary, I think. Cause like like when you're watching like something like Lord of the Rings, part of you fucking hates Gollum, but part of you feels bad for him. You know, that's how you know a character's got a really good design behind it. Is like it evokes emotions in you that like are just like very fundamental. You know, that's why I think everybody really liked Game of Thrones so much. At least like, you know, minus the last season or two or whatever. Like was it just the last season? The last season was like trash, but I think the second last season was like you could kind of feel it coming. But like everybody loves Tyrion. Everybody hates Cersei, you know, or Joffrey. When you look at the actor that played Joffrey, like doesn't act anymore as far as I know, or like went through a whole like emotional thing because like everybody was like they'd see him on the streets and be like you, and it's like what do you mean me? You mean the character I played a TV show? Jesus Christ, get the fuck, like that's how powerful this shit is, you know. Like Owen's right when he's talking about the whole music thing, and like the Muslims do have a point when they come to the whole like no music, no this, no that, cause no alcohol or whatever. Now, obviously, they're fucking hypocrites and a bunch of fucking like every culture. Like I love the Japanese culture, but like I'll still acknowledge that there's a lot of like weird pervy shit. You know, you got the like pervy anime stuff. You got the fucking the myth. Is it a myth? I'm not sure if it's a total myth or if it's only like one vending machine. But that story about like the vending machines with the used panties in them and stuff, and like the whole Japanese schoolgirl thing and all, like there's a lot of like weird shit, like, you know, a lot of pervy stuff. But that's like when you look at the whole of a culture, there's always going to be something you're like, oh, that's a bit weird though, because you look at like African culture, and it's like, man, like their music is brilliant. They really know how to keep a rhythm. They have such beautiful smiles because like their skin is so black and they have beautiful white teeth, and like how do they live like this in certain, like, you know, areas, and they have such like an intuitive sense of their environment and all, and they have their own lore, and you know, like the way they like, you know, ancestrally speaking, like they just go up with a pointy stick and kill a lion, like, do you know what I mean? It's like they're like so admirable and respectable and like likable in so many ways. And then you look at the bad aspects of their culture, and you're like, barbarous, retarded monkeys, you know. And like both are true. You look at the Irish, fucking like everybody's like, oh, they're great poets, they're great fighters, they're so welcoming, their history's like so old, they've, you know, beautiful language, beautiful, they live on a beautiful island, all this fucking shit. And then the more you get to know the Irish culture, like as an Irish person, like, do you know what I mean? It's like very fucking similar to the Jews, you know, the whole trickster leprechaun fucking like we have a really, really, really dark, manipulative, underhanded, like vengeful side to us. Like that's like kind of disgusting. Like, you know, like who'd have, like, to come up with the idea of like, we'll just slap a bomb under his car. Like, do you know what I mean? Now I know you could argue that that's like the IRA and not like Irish culture. But if you know how Irish people fight, it makes sense. We have a history of being the underdog and outnumbered, so that totally makes sense. You know, we don't have the weapons, we don't have the numbers, but we do have the brains and we do have the creativity. So I'm just gonna make your whole fucking building go boom the next time all of yous are having a meeting. You know, like, which is like fucking hardcore. Like, you know? which is probably why everybody like this relatively speaking to every other major nation, Ireland's like, you know, this big and right beside England and shit, like, you know, like we're in the middle and all, like, so like anybody if they wanted to could just wipe us off the map, but nobody does. Why? Because we have fucked all of you. Like, at one time or another, we have come to your country, fucked your women, like, built your buildings, traded and shit, like, just like the Jews. We've, like, gotten in. But the stuff we've done, historically, people are like, oh, we like the Irish. Yeah, the Irish are cool, like, do you know what I mean? But, and then historically, the stuff the Jews have done, people have been like, get them the fuck out of here. Like, it's fascinating, like. Utterly fascinating, especially when you look at somebody like China or India. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, fucking, they smell like, you know, you shit in the street and all. Like, but then you look at their history and it's like, oh my god, it's fucking amazing. Like, the temples, the weaponry, the understanding of fundamental like astrological things, and like, you know, like that's where Jesus went to study. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, if you're talking like old world knowledge, like fundamental, like it's fucking India, like, but it's a shithole. The cities are shitholes. You know, cities everywhere right now are shitholes. But anyway, rant over. Everybody Hates Joffrey would be a really funny Game of Thrones sitcom. Yeah, like the whole really cheesy happy music with everybody at the starting credits like turning and smiling at the camera and shit, like, you know, everybody hates Joffrey. Like, it's like a whole village of people dedicated to the like dogmatic hatred of one guy. Oh fuck, hilarious. What's the time? Right, I'll do the phrases of the day and then I'll put tunes back on. Hold on, I'll just line up other tunes. Oh, so fucking funny. Everybody hates Joffrey. Doo-doo. Like, oh. Playlists. Where are we? Oh, fuck me, like. Oh. I'm fucking knackered. Oh, not play all. Shit. I'm fucking knackered. It's been a mad week. Mad fucking week. I got like really emotional again earlier on. I'm not gonna, like, I don't think I said her name so far, so I'm gonna keep that up. I'm not gonna say her name just in case she doesn't want people to like know or whatever. You know, it's called being courteous, and honourable. But I don't think she would care. But like, I don't know, like, you know. But the woman that we had the like that I had the interaction with, and the lesson there the other day, sent me another text this morning, because she saw my stream yesterday where I was talking about it, and I got like, you know, emotional and shit, like, and she sent me this text, and it was a lovely text, and when I was reading it, I got emotional. I was reading what she was saying about me and the interaction and how it affected her and how she saw it affected me and all and blah blah, and it's just like, it's crazy. Like, it was like a big blubbering baby, like, do you know what I mean? And I couldn't help it, like, it wasn't one of those situations where I was like, stiff up a lip, Jim, you know, like, it was like I was just being honest with myself while I was reading it, like, and I was like trying to just let myself feel whatever I'm feeling genuinely, like, do you know what I mean, instead of trying to like suppress it or whatever. And I think I am, like, I've said this before, I spent so many years just like used to the idea of everything being shit, that when something genuinely like good and like good, true, beautiful happens, like I have a tendency to, like, it doesn't make me sad. It like, they're like tears of joy, but it's intense because I've had so little of it, you know. And it's not like I've been through, like, you know, I haven't had like a really harsh life or whatever. But as far as like mental and emotional struggles goes, like, yeah, like I probably have experienced relatively dark shit compared to most people. And the way I've dealt with it was like, on the one hand, worse than most people, but on the other hand, better than most people. It's weird. Like I'm one of the, like I am quite extreme as a person. Like, very few people self-harm the way I did. Got super drunk on my own in the dark, listening to heavy metal, and then like carved myself up. You know. In certain ways, like I would take things way further than other people would, and in certain things, I wouldn't even begin them. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm in a lot of ways I'm the polar opposite of most people, and COVID really showed me that. It's weird, one of those weird experiences where you're just like, so this is how it is? Shit. And I kind of feel like that about the, like, but in the opposite way, about the lesson and how it went and all. Like, the things people are saying about me, I'm like, they're talking about me, like. Like, that's how these people see me, as like a really good person, you know. And it's not that like I went through my life with a lot of people thinking I was a shit person. Quite the opposite, actually. Like, you know, fucking tons of friends. Everybody fucking, not everybody. Most people thought I was like a really cool guy and real sound and shit like that. Like, you know, but like, you surround yourself with people for the wrong reasons, bad shit happens. Like, you know, to your mind and to your soul and to your emotions and stuff. And like being here in Tipperary the last couple of years and trying to like establish myself and earn a living and stuff, it's been wild, man. Wild experience. Like rebuilding myself. Like, not just in the way of like, I was kind of in a certain place financially with my painting and my art, and then I moved here, and then like no network, no, you know, had to start again. In a lot of ways, I started again on a personal, spiritual level when I moved here. I made like a conscious decision where I was like, okay, it's just me and the female now, and we're going this way, whatever this way is. And like I think I'd like, similar to what I said, I think I said something similar to this yesterday, where I was like, I think I found me again, like the me I was before all the shit happened. Now obviously there's a degree of like, there's been, you've grown so much and you've changed and you've been through so many different things that there's no way you could possibly be the person you were, you know, when you were younger before a lot of trauma happened, obviously. But there's like an aspect of you that never really changes, you know, like your essence. And like you can completely lose that and just like veer off into life, and like maybe that's what people would describe as like your connection to the divine or something, like, you know. It's like you are who you're supposed to be, who you were designed to be or whatever, versus like succumbing to your dark side and embracing like the antithesis of what you were designed to be or some shit like that. Like, ooh, I'm hungry. Right. Ugh, phrases of the day, because I think there's more than one, because Desmondo is a productive, creative, bearded fucker. Oh yeah, the fucking pinata one. Where's the I know I didn't do phrase of the day yesterday. So oh yeah, here's the other one. Right. With the help of my feathery friend, I will announce today's phrase of the day. I send cleansing vibrations through the web of inter to cleanse your filthy, dirty chi and allow it to flow freely. As we announce today's phrases of the day, phrases, plural. Like, it's like Try say plural in Japu. Like,
Plural.
anyway. To capture a spick, set down the complete DVD collection of Dragon Ball outside a Home Depot and wait patiently. Are you speaking from experience because you're Puerto Rican? Or part Puerto Rican? Oh, God. To capture a spick. Like, not a Mexican. Well, that's what it is. It's like nigger. It's like, I'm not talking about Mexicans. I'm talking about spicks. I'm talking about, like, negative Mexican. Like, criminally inclined Mexicans. Like, weak Mexicans. That's why I love racial slurs and slangs now. It's like there's a reason they exist. Like, and it's not because somebody turned around and was like, yeah, all black people are this. It's because you would come across the same behavior from a subset of that race, you know? It's the same with whites. And it's not like whatever white, like, you know, you pick out white in quotations is like you could be in England or Ireland and you'll hear the term pikey or traveller. Some people call them knackers. Like I heard a lot of people call them knackers when we grew up. And as far as I remember, that was the one that was like, if you wanted to be mean, you call them knackers. You fucking knacker. Because like you'd call people that you know or you're in your family or your friend group a knacker if they were doing something very dirty or unhygienic or messy, you know, or what would you call it, uncouth, like, you know, like unbecoming. You call them a dirty knacker. And in fairness, like there are, like, you'd see these like halting sites where it's just a load of caravans and it doesn't look like somewhere you'd want to live because it's so messy, you know. It's so dirty and messy and shit like that and all, like. So it's funny when you see like pikeys or settled travellers or travellers being like, "You fucking call me a knacker and all," and, you know, like, if I can't call you a nigger, you can't call me a knacker. Like, it's just insanely primitive, like, low intelligence tribalistic behavior. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you can't like have the enlightened consciousness to be like, it's just a word, you know, because I know like there's like a paradox there where it's like on the one hand, words are incredibly powerful and you should be careful how you use them, you know. That is true. Because, like, sound, you could argue sound is everything. You know, like Tesla. It's like, you want to know the secrets of the universe is frequency and vibration 369. It's like, well, that's sound, you know? Or what we call sound, anyway. Obviously, it could be something technically different where it's like, you could probably argue that it's not, you could describe it as movement. You could describe it as movement or friction. Unseen friction or some shit like that. I don't know, like, God, I'm ranting again. What's this? Thank you for participation. What? Yeah, report as spam and leave. Fuck you. I hate those things. Thank you for participating in this thing that we have come to you with. Like, what the fuck? Hate that shit. I think it is hilarious though that you like a prompt immediately comes up and is like, report as spam and leave. The fact that you even have a thing like that, like the fact that you need a thing like that on a social media, like, you know, like an algorithm or a program running in the background that's like, this appears to be bullshit. Would you like to press this button to deal with the bullshit? Oh man. The neighborhood kids on my street growing up were all Puerto Rican and we all watched Dragon Ball Z together at each other's house. So funny. I've said that before on the stream loads of times that it's one of my favorite subcultures is the American ghetto culture of like American suburbs and American ghettos have like a fuck ton of blacks and Mexican kids and whites, obviously, and Asians and so on and so forth. But like, there's a huge, I would say the majority is like Mexicans, Asians, and blacks. And then you've got the nerdy white kids, you know? And they all grew up watching Powerpuff Girls, Dragon Ball Z, Dexter's Laboratory, like Cartoon Network, essentially, like, you know. But like Dragon Ball Z is like huge. Like there's literally YouTube videos of kids trying to go Super Saiyan, and it is one of the funniest fucking things you'll ever watch in your fucking life. Just some 13-year-old black young fella in a sitting room in front of a fucking VHS camera, like, you know, like the early 2000s, just being like, oh! And there's one or two of them that you'll watch it and you'll be like, oh, he's trying. Like, to the point where you're like, easy kid, you're gonna hurt yourself. Like, kid's gonna burst a blood vessel or like pop a lung or something, give himself a hernia. Like ends up in hospital in in excruciating pain. It's like, how did you do this to yourself? I'm trying to go Super Saiyan. Like, the doctors and nurses are like, it's the 10th one this month. Like, and it's shit like that ends up on the news, and then people would be like, parents need to make sure their kids are not watching this foreign cartoon called Dragon Ball Z because it's like making them hurt themselves or so. It's all bullshit. Like, same when they come out and they're like, oh, people need to stop playing Grand Theft Auto because this one psycho fucking like tried to play it in real life, you know. That's all society is now. It's like, okay, well, this one fucking utter degenerate did this really stupid thing, so the rest of you have to follow a new rule set, is the most fucking retarded way to conduct a society or a civilization you could possibly fucking engage in. You know, like, this one fucker or these group of like 5 fuckers did this like fucking awful thing, so everyone else has to change how they exist. It's like a lot of people now realize, you know, that it is like the whole Ordo ab Chao fucking problem reaction solution of like, let's just highlight the worst of humanity and then use it as an excuse to destroy humanity. Like, that's really what it is. It's like, we're gonna highlight nothing but the worst of humanity and use that as an excuse to peddle propaganda and ideologies that either blatantly want the end of humanity or subtly and in a, like, you know, obfuscated smoke and mirrors way appear to be transcending our current issues towards a better humanity, but ultimately, like, logically and logistically speaking, will lead rapidly to the destruction of humanity. Like, it's like, these fucking bastards, like, they hate us, you know? They hate us because they ain't us, that kind of thing. Like, look at you, look how dirty you all are, look how horrible you are. Like, you know, you need surgery, you need to be opened, you need to be poked and prodded, we need to fill you with chemicals, we need to do all this crap to you because humans are terrible, they're a blight on the earth and all this fucking shit and blah blah. It's so demonic, and it's totally understandable why people would get to the point where you realize that there is like seemingly a group of people doing this to everyone else. And it's like, all right, find them and kill them. Like, what was that in? That's in something. That's in a movie. Find them and kill them. No, find them and destroy them. What's that in? Find them and destroy them. Somebody like announces that. Find them and destroy them. Oh, it's like I'm getting screenshots in my mind right now. Find them and destroy them. The second I realize who it is who says it, I'll be like, oh, it's that movie. Find them and destroy. Who's fucking Hugh? It's Hugo Weaving. Is it? I think it's Hugo Weaving. Find them and destroy them. Yeah, it's Agent Smith. It's Agent Smith in The Matrix. Find them and destroy them. It's right after they save Neo. It's right after they save Neo. Yeah. Yeah. We get to it at the same time. Yeah, it's Agent Smith. Find them and destroy them. The sprinklers are going off, and then Morpheus just got away, and he just looks at the other two. He's like, "Find them and destroy them." It's totally understandable why people get to that point. You know, that's a totally human, rational response to discovering a very probable, likely threat that like is hiding in your environment. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you immediately are like, I need to find the source of this corruption and root it out. You know, and I get it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like it is an enlightened thing to be like, all right, well, in order to find the corruption and root it out in the world, you must first find the corruption within yourself and root it out. And that's very true. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's like when you have so many of us from so many different perspectives, and like I think if a single true God does exist, and he, she, it, or whatever, is benevolent and all loving, and that's what God is like the force of love or whatever, like, you know, then wouldn't it make sense that it would desire all of us to come together, like still have our individual traits, you know, Italian, fucking German, African, Asian, like still be what we are, but be aware and enlightened enough to work together. Because like it's really annoying for somebody like me that like kind of looks at the realm as like a game with characters that have certain abilities, like pros and cons, and you could see how like you just take white people and black people in quotes, you know, the whites and the blacks, which encompasses everything from fucking like, you know, a lot of Europeans and like a lot of Americans and a lot of Africans. Like that's pretty much what white and black covers, is like everywhere from the Americas, like North and South, Latin and normal, all the way to like most of Europe and like Africa is like white people and black people. Because then when you go to the East, you get Arab people and Asian people, you know? And like when you see white, you know, generic stereotypical white culture and generic stereotypical black culture, like if you were to blend the two in a willful harmony, like it's so fucking effective. Like you have the in the moment, you know, like the in the moment connected vibe of the blacks, that's like, you know, that rhythmic understanding of like, white people can't jump, white people can't dance, we can. It's like, so you have that like in the moment, you don't think about the future, you're just here now making decisions, like you're in it. You have that heart and that rhythm and that musicality and that like primal connection to existence. And then you have the whites, which is like thinking ahead, ordered, categories, plans, graphs, logistics, patience, discipline, impulse control over a long period of time, all this stuff. Like, could you imagine black Nazis? Like, could you imagine, like, everybody's like, say what you want about the Nazis, but they had style, they were really effective in certain ways, like their fucking army was like, do you know what I mean? Like the Nazis were feared, like, do you know what I mean? When a Nazi like regiment, like when the Nazis showed up, they were like organized, the way they looked, their tech, like their weapons, like American soldiers were known to like drop their gun and pick up a German one, you know. Like loads of shit like that, loads of historical stuff of like their engineering was like insane. Now, could you imagine if you took like the engineering and the planning and all of that, like, and you fused it with the fluidity of the knowing, the primal intuitive knowing and shit, like, you know. I would argue that Irish people are kind of like that. Irish people are like a blend of like that Anglo kind of like, you know, you got the, you know, the Nordic white, used to winter, you know, able to plan, knows how to ferment shit, and like all of that, and then you mix it with like fucking that leisurely, like, you know, oh, there's food everywhere, we don't need a farm, fucking like it's always gorgeous, you know, the temperature's always perfect, we're just gonna walk around half naked all the time, fucking like we fight each other for entertainment and all this shit. Like, it's like when you like the truth is that when you get a good version of like you can blend, like, look at eugenics, look at the way we breed dogs, like, do you know what I mean? It's like you can breed one way or you can breed the other, and if you breed towards things getting the best of both worlds, you know, like look at Blade. Yes, I know he's a fictional fucking character from Marvel, but it's like the concept is true. It's like if you take the pros of one thing and the pros of another thing and mash them together, you now have a new thing that has the best of both worlds. You know? Like, now, obviously you can argue, it's like, well, is the third thing better than the other two? Well, like, probably not. Because it's like, it's 50% of the other two. So it's its own unique thing now that has these traits of two other things, which means that it's great at these things. You know? Like, how's that a bad thing? Like, do you know what I mean? It's creation. It's creation of a new thing, and it's like for a positive reason. Now, obviously, people's emotions and their egos and all, like, it's like fucking if all this bullshit of like people looking down, being like, oh, fucking half breed and all, like half caste. I get it. I get why people think homogenous societies, and it's like, no, we're all this, and that's the end of it. Works. It's a good thing. It can be a good thing. It totally works. It makes things cohesive and unified and effective and convenient and easy and, like, you know, quick and shit. Like, that's what the whole yin yang thing is so fascinating to me, because like I can always just come back to that and just be like, but that's the realm we live in. Good and evil exist in tandem with each other all the time within every single individual and every group. Like, that's what makes it so fascinating, is like, no matter how you can surround yourself with, look at the bear community, it's like, oh my god, like most of the people in the bear community are like so good and honorable and loving, and they're fucking like, you know, they have a great sense of humor, they're very knowledgeable, they're these like absolute legends, crushers, like, do you know what I mean? And even in a group like that, you get these like individuals and then groups that are just these like fucking demons that, like, if you like, when you meet them in real life, there's this jarring realization of like, you just like fake all the time. Like, you're not real, you're not a genuine individual. Like, do you know what I mean? Even when you're looking me in the eye and you're saying something, there's stuff going on in your head that like you're keeping from people for personal beneficial reasons, and it's not just because things are private or whatever, like, do you know what I mean? It's like they're constantly scheming, manipulating, you know, they're always thinking about, like, they're trying to see what's on other people's heads, like, all the time, so they can like dictate and play, like, they're playing God. These people want to be like a little god, and it's so sad. You know what I mean? It's so pathetic. It's like, it's so utterly reprehensible and pathetic for a human being to be so weak, to be like, I want to be in charge. It's like, you have so little ability to be humble that you think that you can actually like control other people and like as an extent like the world or whatever like that. Like this like the villain 101, you know, like the cookie cutter villain from back in the day of like, you know, well, Pinky, we're going to rule the world. You know, like, what are we going to do today, Brain? We're going to rule the world, Pinky. Like, I want to watch Pinky in the Brain again, because that's probably the perfect way to explain a lot of what's going on right now. Like these like utterly delusional fucking gobshites who don't realize that like from an outside perspective they are mice. Like they have no power. They can be crushed in an instant. But from their perspective, they're like, we're going to rule the world, Pinky. like Black Lives Matter. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh fuck, man. Bunch of fucking lesbians. I can see why Kanye likes Uncle A. You can see why Kanye likes Uncle A. Oh yeah. Uncle A. I was like, who? Oh fucking hell! Right, I still have a phrase to do. What's the other phrase? Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. That's what I get for drinking coffee on an empty stomach. Right. Our other phrase of the day is as follows. Cadaver pinatas put the fun back in funeral. That's actually such a funny idea. Like, it's so dark and morbid and disgusting. Like, realistically, but just as like a little concept, it's like fucking so funny. Cadaver pinatas put the fun back in funeral. I replied to him and I was like, a corpse yata. And he's just like, now when you're ready, son, take a good swing at Grandpa there and remember, follow through. Like, do you imagine that? Like, your family member dies and you bring them to the fucking morgue or whatever, and it's like, alright, open him up there, we stick a lot of candy and he's shoving Mars bars in his chest cavity. I like zip him up. And then you'd have to like petrify the buddy, you'd have to yeah, buddy. You'd have to petrify the body, you'd have to petrify the body to make it like brittle. So when somebody hits it with something, it like just falls apart. You know, like you like get them by the ankles and like drop them into liquid nitrogen. Alright, take out the corpse yada, and you just have some dude with like in a hazmat suit or something. Or at least with like two big gloves on him, like big laboratory gloves, like welder's gloves, and a clamp. And he just has your grandmother frozen upside down like a popsicle. Alright, where do you want her? Like hang her off a fucking tree. You're like, okay, Timmy. You put the blindfold on the kid. Hand him a baseball bat. Oh god. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Just all the kids, yay! And there's just this swinging pair of legs. Oh man, that's incredibly morbid. But fuck me, that's hilarious. I forgot I sent that one. Oh fuck me, like cadaver pinatas. Put the fun back in funeral. It's like so like it's like something you'd see in Fallout or something where it's like so dystopian and like but it's hilarious, like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh fuck, that's so funny. Cadaver pinatas. Corpseata. Bring out the corpseata. How hard did you laugh when I said shit when I replied to the potato thing? Are these potatoes nigger approved? And I was like, mediocre. That's one of my favorite. That's like the only thing I remember from that movie is fucking, what's that prick's name again? Morton Joe. Mediocre. Oh fuck, man. Oh god, so funny. Right, 15 minutes left. Right, that concludes today's phrases of the day. Fuck me, like. Oh, that was funny. Where's the other funk? I know I have more funk. I know in my heart of hearts that I have more funk. But I need to find the funk before I can play the funk. There we go. There we go. Painting goo 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 goo. Right, let's finish this bitch. Painting goo 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 goo. No, like, there's nothing else to really do, I suppose. I mean, I could put the decal on this one too. There's not much left to do, but just like sign the fucking thing, like, you know. Let me see now. Painting goo. Pop pop painting goo 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 painting goo. Quite proud of that little crashed X-Wing. I think it looks great. Looks better than the one flying. Painting goo. Pop 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 painting goo 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 goo. Painting. Goo, 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 goo.
Glorious.
I made an audible ha. Those are some of my favorites. Where like it's not like you end up with a belly laugh for it. It's just one ha. Like, I think I've said this before that like people used to find that annoying about me. Like my best mate who'd like be around me all the time. If something was like really funny and like cuz like you react in the moment, like, you know. Oh, excuse me. And I'd be like ha! And he'd be like right beside me. And sometimes he'd like react to me, Jesus, trying to make me deaf. Cause I like I'm really loud, like. I have the capacity to be very noisy. Which is like good, like, do you know what I mean? Cause like if I do end up teaching, like nobody, I won't need a mic. Like, right? What's that in? Fucking The Last Samurai. Right, you! If I see any one of you in a line, I'm gonna slap you harder than a fucking. They all line up. And Tom Cruise is just like, thank you. And he's like, once you understand the language, it's it's a great scene. Billy Connolly's character, is he the sergeant? He starts shouting at them all, and they're all like, oh shit. And it's like, brilliant. If you've never seen The Last Samurai, like, you're literally missing out, like. Last Samurai is an amazing movie. Part of me is like, do I change his eye? But no, I think the camel's grand. Leave the camel alone. I need to learn to be like, no, leave it be. Got 9 minutes. What can I do in 9 minutes apart from sign the thing? Painting, goo goo goo. Painting, goo 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 goo. Painting, goo 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 goo. Stabbery wanted me to put fucking, what's that thing called again? Grogu? The shading on the sides of the minarets is a nice touch. Oh, the temple? Yeah, it looks okay, like, you know, from a distance. It's kind of shit up close though. It's alright looking. Painting, goo 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 goo. Just a touch more blue. No, that should do. That should do. That blue should do.
Painting goo, goo, goo. Painting goo, 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 goo. Painting goo, goo, goo. Painting goo, goo, goo.
Nobody can stop me, nobody can drop me. Call me Rambo, I'm a one-man army. Headshots, anyone that gets me like a zombie. Knock you out like Rocky, I'm a renegade. Renegade. I'm a renegade. Renegade. I'm a renegade.
That needs to like. Go to here.
Gotta show you what I'm made of. My own path, answer to no one. I make my own rules, never agree to no one. Like Tom Cruise, yeah, I'm the Top Gun. I can do this for hours. Got my mojo back, Austin Powers. I'm on my stealth mode, catch me off the radar. All blacked up, that fade up. Like Neo, I'm the one. I'm second to none. I shine like the sun. That's why they call me the Dun. Nobody can stop me. Nobody can drop me. Call me Rambo. I'm a one-man army. Headshots, anyone that gets me like a zombie. Knock you out like Rocky. I'm a renegade. Renegade. I'm a renegade. Renegade. I'm a renegade.
Better. Right, let's sign this bitch. Oh, itchy ear. Oh, itchy ear. Oh, that was horrible. Billy Connolly plays a good dwarf as well. Is that in The Hobbit? See one of the dwarves in The Hobbit? I don't remember much of the Hobbit movies. Part of me wants to watch them again. They're like okay, you know. They're not. I wouldn't describe them as bad, but they did a lot of stuff that was like fucked up, like pre-woke kind of stuff. Like one of the elves falls in love with a dwarf or something like, and like that wasn't in the book at all, kind of thing. I heard people weren't happy with the Hobbit stuff. Never mind the fucking Rings of Power, like absolute fucking heresy. Like, right, let's sign this bitch. Alright, the bitch has been signed. Saudi Arabia is finished. It's not bad. Camel turned out good. X-Wing turned out good. I actually, like, I don't even really like the temple that much, to be honest. And like the pencil trees kind of look a bit ridiculous. Like, whatever. Turned out okay. Yeah, I didn't care for the race mixing in the Hobbit movies. Yeah, but at least it wasn't as bad as the fucking trying to make orcs, trying to make it out like orcs have their own fucking like perfectly normal society with like women and children and fucking all this shite. Like, anyway, right.
My beloved Japonita, that is all I have for today. I hope you have enjoyed today's painting. I will return next week, same timer, same place, Monday. May you have a glorious Friday evening.
What was I thinking? I can't remember. I had a thought and then it left. Fuck.
Right. Be good, be true, and be beautiful. And remember, above all else, pay for painting. Mortar scum. Right. Sayonara. Much love. I will. See you soon.